guys, Massa here. In this video, I basically want to describe my general opinions on Fortnite. Fortnite has been a wild ride with plenty of ups and downs. The main point I want to get across is this game is amazing, regardless if you like it or not, and you can't deny that. Due to Fortnite, so many other companies have changed the way that they make their games and how they do it, and even us, the consumers, expect more and want more out of it. I also want to say I don't think this game is necessarily dying by any means. It's just not what it used to be. This sort of thing happens with all games. Eventually, they're really popular, they're trending, that's how it works, and then they die out, fizzle out, but they always have a chance to come back. I do not think Fortnite is dying and or going to die within the next couple of months. Maybe a year or two, we don't know. Fortnite was, and in my opinion, always will be a staple for what makes an amazing game. Back then. Fortnite has changed over the years, as all games do, but not as drastically as this. I've committed my life to this game for the last 2.5-ish years of my life, and it's hard to quit it if I'm being honest with you. For those of you who played it back in the day, you can think about all the good times you and your friends had, with all the events and content being added every single week. We were almost getting too much stuff added, and you knew every single change made just as long as you went to the patch notes. It was that simple. As well as with all the new tournaments and popping up, and it was getting more and more competitive, but yet kept its fun atmosphere too. It still felt like the same old game you used to know and love. I used to not be able to wait to get on every single day and just grind away at the game with my buddies. We used to praise the company for their communication. It was like nothing we've ever seen. They told us every single little thing they did and changed without fail, and even started to explain each and every change as we went on in the seasons, as to why they did it, and constantly would reply and listen to what we had to say, and overall make sure that our voices were heard. But with all the memories and the good times, we can't go back, and who knows, maybe it's all part of a plan and we can experience those again. Fortnite nowadays is an entire new playing field. All the talk about its death and people trash talking it, quitting the game, and overall hate and yet sadness towards the current moves and lack of moves being made. The random lack of communication, like they don't tell us any of their ideas or plans anymore going forward. They don't even tell us what it is new or what the changed at all anymore, except for the rare post of them announcing a new item every 3 weeks or so. All the complaints and arguments with aim assist and people bashing each other in the community for everything that they say. Skill-based matchmaking is another thing. People blame it for the downfall of Fortnite. Of course not everyone does, but some do. And it doesn't make sense. Most games nowadays have skill-based matchmaking, so that the new players can learn to get better and verse people of their skill level, and then work their way up the chain. Because let's face it, if the people who blame it for the downfall of Fortnite just wanted to go up against boss, so that they can have more fun and not verse someone of their level. Because if you're good at the game, and you put the time in to get good at that game, you don't want to face you. You don't even want to face you, or anybody else of your level for that matter. Because you know that it would be a tough fight. You know that you would have to try. You know that you would have to improve. And you know that you would have to work hard at it. And you don't want to. You want to verse bots. I agree with that very statement myself. I can completely relate to that. I hate always having to try hard at the game and to do well, or else I'll get smacked by other players. But if you keep going against new and learning players, do you really think that they would stick around and keep playing if they were kept getting destroyed? If you just started the game just now, 2.5 years down the road, and you kept on getting, and skill-based matchmaking wasn't a thing, and you were versing sweaty players, like pro players, like if you got into a game with Ninja, and you got killed and destroyed, would you really feel encouraged to keep playing and trying to get better? I don't think so. If you're constantly getting smacked and you cannot get better. Sure, you can sit in creative for hours on end and get better, but that's not fun, because let's be honest, you're here to play the game, not sit in creative all day, or at least I'd hope. Fortnite's numbers are still high, but of course, that can just simply be based on the current world events. I think Fortnite needs to do a couple of small and easy things to quote-unquote fix their game, would be to simply listen to their community. Like maybe they are. Maybe we've seen Epic Games make plays for the long game and have the whole thing planned, so who knows, maybe they do this time as well. But it all starts with communication. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us the changes. Tell us the updates. Just keep us in the loop, or at least be active and tell us these things so that we know and don't have to come up with some gimmick to figure it out. We want to know what's going on with your game. People love the game, but as you can see with Valorant coming out, plenty of streamers have posted out tweets saying They're quitting the game. They appreciate what Fortnite gave them and, gave them a career in this. But they're moving on because Valorant is giving them, or has a chance and potential giving them a better thing than what they have with Fortnite because of the lack of stuff going on and the lack of communication taking place with their players and the competitive scene. So the basic idea is, as a company, you have to listen to the players, and as more time goes on, Epic is listening less and less, it seems. Some games die out because of the lack of communication and lack of stuff being added. If you keep on top of it, if you keep communicating, if you keep reading out content, you're going to keep your game alive. It's simple as that. I don't think the game will die that quickly. I'm sure it'll die eventually. All games do. Some games last much longer than others, like Call of Duty, for example. Call of Duty is still really popular. It probably will for a long time as well. But I don't think Fortnite will go anywhere that quickly, per se. I think Valorant will take a fairly decent hit on Fortnite, just like Apex has in the past, and games such as those. But I don't think that it's going to take a massive, massive hit. But we're going to get into more of that into the next video that I'll be posting. Well, that's the end of the video. I want to thank you guys for watching, and please feel free to stick around for the rest of the gameplay that you can see in the background here.